Hey, welcome everyone. It's me, Cinco, with the Strange Collectors. As always, I have the Stranger Things collector, Diego, with me for episode 3 of the Strange Collectors. How you doing, Diego?
I'm doing great. Good afternoon, good evening, good morning, whatever it may be for all of you watchers out there.
Absolutely, man. So it's been a minute, but the last time we talked and we had a show here was right when volume 2 of season 4 was about to release. And we had our predictions, and some of them came true, some did not. But now that we've had some time to kind of digest what all of season 4 was all about and probably watched it a few more times, I know I did.
Yep.
Um, what was your thought? Good, bad, ugly? What was your thought about
Uh,
season
it,
4?
yeah, I mean the part two was just as fantastic as part one. I mean it just repeatedly tore my heart out of my chest and threw it on the ground and stomped it, but it was just amazing. Um, Honestly, not many of my predictions came true. The only one that I nailed was Eddie's fate, which I hated to see happen. I would have much rather been wrong, but yeah, the whole thing, they just nailed it perfectly.
Yeah, absolutely. Eddie, yeah, that was very foreshadowed almost throughout the season that he was going to stop running and step forward and be that hero or actually face fear as well, right? So yeah, you were spot on with that. I was completely wrong. I think I thought like Lucas was going to die, and for a minute I thought they were going to kill off Max. I was like, "Oh my gosh, are the Dovers really going to kill one of the
Yeah, I
core
was freaking out
kids?"
in that scene.
Yeah, because I mean, she, at first with Dear Billy, episode what 4, I believe Dear Billy was,
Yeah.
uh, she barely got out. At the second time, I actually got spoiled a little bit. Someone sent me a picture of Sadie Sink in makeup with her eyes all bloodied. I'm like, that's not good. That's never a
No,
good
not at
sign.
all.
You know what happens when Vecna gets your eyes bloody? They pop. So.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, I agree with you. Season 4 went beyond what I thought it was gonna be. It was super epic. So had that core, they all work as a team. I loved when they were actually when they both had to work. One team, was working the upside down, one was staying above in the real world, and they all were working together. That was so
That was
cool. I love
amazing.
seeing
Those
that.
rapid cuts between Russia and California and Hawkins, and it was amazing.
Yeah. Do you have a favorite episode of season 4? Does anyone
Oh
resonate to you
wow.
more than others, or is it like just yeah, all of
I
them?
would be hard pressed to pick one. I mean, I really loved Papa, which was episode 8.
Yeah, Papa was great.
Or no, was Papa 8?
It
Yeah,
was
Papa was 8, and then the piggyback was 9.
yeah,
But yeah, I mean, Dear Billy was amazing. They all were. It would be really hard for me to pick a favorite out of them.
yeah. The massacre at Hawkins Lab was pretty epic too. Episode 7. That
Yeah.
it kept on switching off. Like I was like, Dear Billy, all the way. That epic, of course, the Kate Bush montage and everything going on. That was beautifully done. Sadie Sink killed it. But also then I watched the massacre episode, and it was just so like all the stuff coming together, escalating to get that volume 2, like leaving us at that edge of our seat. I thought it was mastery done, but then yeah, the piggyback, bringing it all together as we see now everyone is back in Hawkins again after the aftermath when basically everything's been split literally down in Hawkins. Hawkins is in ruins. People are trying to figure that out. There's still that fear that the devil's behind this, and Eddie's still, target number one that's maybe caused this issue and stuff, which was really sad to see with his uncle and Dustin having that heartfelt conversation in the gym.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was heart wrenching. And the scene with Lucas and Max when he was screaming, for Erica.
Yeah, and I saw online that that's all ad lib. Like when he
Yeah.
called onto Erica, that wasn't in the script, and I just thought it was perfect.
Yeah, those I think that a lot of characters who hadn't previously really got to stretch their legs in this season.
Yeah, absolutely. So then at the very end, we got everyone. We're all together. And of course, they have that epic on the hill looking at what's coming. And it looks like the storm is getting closer. The upside
Yes.
down is here as we see the little particles falling from the sky. Um, What's your predictions? I mean, we got a while, right? I think the writers are actually starting maybe this week or next week to start working on season five.
Right.
But what are your thoughts? What do you think we're going to see in season five?
Well, one of the things that they said was that they wanted to bring it full circle.
Mm.
And as much as I hate to say it, I think it started with Will, and I think it's going to end with Will.
Mhm.
And I would be really surprised if he survives season 5.
Yeah, I tend to agree with you. I love that. Like you said, the full circle they were talking about in interviews and all the after show
Mm-hmm.
commentary that I saw too as well. They're talking about it, which I'm glad they're bringing it back. And I think they're also going to try to get back to the core, like the core team, not split them up as much, which I don't think they can now since the war is in Hawkins.
Yeah, and from what I heard, they've already said that it's going to stay and end in Hawkins. So
Yeah.
we're not going to be jumping around all over the world with the different teams.
Yeah, and I'm curious to see, like, okay, they, 11 and everyone, they fought Vecna. We thought maybe they defeat him, but obviously, right, in any great horror flick, any 80s thing, if you don't see a body, that means
Exactly.
it's the, Vecna, obviously Vecna's coming. And I think it's going to be this army kind of using that whole, like, the D&D mythology and everything, all of Vecna's army coming out, to fight together. And that's going to be some epic battles. And exactly like I saw the Duffers talk about, they're going to hit the ground running. So there's not going to be a lot of like building up like you usually see. It's a die down after all the epic stuff. They get back to their normal lives, and then they kind of amp it back up to bring that conclusion of another season.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Now, what do you think of the theory that some people are throwing out there that they might try to bring Eddie back as a vampire?
Yeah, so they were talking about that. There were some cues and talking about it during even the episode 1 when they're playing D&D against Eddie, and they actually, I think correct me wrong. Is it Cass?
Yes.
K-A-S? I think
Yes.
Cass. And so, and again, I didn't really look into the mythology. You can correct me wrong here too much, but what I read was that Cass was at one point, like got killed by bats, and then came back, basically the undead to basically work with Vecna's army and became like a sergeant or something like that in Vecna's army. And then what happens is that Cass ends up killing Vecna in the mythology. That's what I read. But yeah, I don't know. As long as he's not sparkling, I'm okay with it. He's not a sparkling
No,
vampire.
no sparkling vampires, please.
But I think the dubbers have said some things. They don't want to be that whole thing like, are they dead? They're not dead on every character, like when they can always come back. It's almost like that old thing, like, well, we like them. Let's figure out a way to bring them back up to life. Where I love when like series like, no, we're going to kill our characters and they're dead. If they're dead, they're dead. Like they're
Right.
not coming back. So they already did that with Hopper, with thinking like he might be dead fully, but then of course he's in Russia. So I don't know if they would do that.
Yeah. Well, it'll be fun to see, and there's going to be a lot of time for speculation.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, again, have more time to watch season 4, like for 20 more times. And I'll probably watch all the whole series again up to season 4 again and again. I just love it so much. Still connect with it. And at this time, I think still I've always told you season 1 is my favorite. I love the not knowing about the world and discovery of the world and how these kids all work without adults, right? They figure this out. I love how they keep that smart. Like all these adults are telling the kids, like, it could be this way. No, we got the
No.
answers and we're going to figure it out. I love that. And I hope they keep that essence in season 5 as well, because they're not kids pretty more. They're in high school. Everyone's getting a lot older too as well. But I think season 1 and season 4 are now like pretty neck and neck for
Neck
my
and neck
favorite
for
seasons.
me. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Well, cool. Again, you can watch tons of other series out there, shows that talk about season 4 and recaps and all that stuff. But again, because this is a Strange Collectors show, we had to talk about it. Obviously,
Of
that's the
course.
reason why we collect stuff for the Stranger Things fandom. If we didn't like the show, that'd be kind of awkward. So.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't really like the show, but I like the stuff.
Yeah, exactly. So let's get into that stuff. And then you and I talk online a lot between shows, and season 4 is like no other, right? We don't really have an off season. It's not like sports where as a collector you have a time where you can kind of just like chill. Yeah, there might be some lulls, right? When the
Right.
mass produced stuff is not in stores or they're not kicking things out, but we all know season 1, they love to regurgitate characters. 11 in her pink dress, how many characters and figures we have of that, and they keep on doing it throughout all the seasons. So we always can keep busy, but season 4, man, how has it been treating you with collecting? How are you feeling right now?
It's just been an avalanche since early May, just more and more and more, and every day something new pops up. I know you send me a lot of things, and I send you the thing. It's like, yeah, we got to have this, and it's just nonstop. It's crazy. It
That's
makes you
the
wonder.
crazy.
It's like, at what point do you have to draw the line and slow down?
That's a good point, right? As collectors, it's kind of a borderline, sometimes could be an addiction, right? And I mean, with anything that you do, you get obsessed about something, you collect stuff, and yeah, it's tough, right? Because I know you and I, like we said, share links and stuff, and like, oh, I want that, but like, can my bank account afford that?
Exactly. And do I have space enough to display it?
Yeah, that is definitely every collector's worst fear is running out of room, which you and I are completely at that point right now. We're getting
Yes.
super creative. The ceilings are still emptying. I guess I can the
Not for
ceilings.
long.
Not for long, absolutely. So yeah, it's tough to figure out what we're gonna collect and what not to collect. I know we talked about maybe we just hone our collection sometimes, but do you ever feel pressure? I mean, especially you, because like I know, I got a pretty grand collection too, but I know what you have, and it's almost double what I have. And I kind of say, you are the collector. I mean, if we did Guinness World of Records, I know you've been on podcasts and stuff like that. If you probably went for it and put the elbow grease, I know it's a lot of elbow grease to get into the record books, but do you feel that pressure to keep on going because you invested so much time in this collection?
Yes, I do. Definitely. When I see something out there that that is really cool, and I think, well, I probably shouldn't do that. I can't afford it, or don't have room for it. But then there's this voice back here. It's like, you have to have it. You are the collector. What do you you can't call yourself a collector if you don't have that.
Yeah, it's an identity after a while, right?
It
That
is.
becomes who you are and your essence, and that's what you're known for too as well. And that's not the reason why we collect, but it just sometimes it evolves in that way. And I think it's
And
that.
it definitely perpetuates it. I mean, we've talked about it many times, FOMO, fear of missing out.
Speaking of FOMO, like there's been some recent releases where you and I are not the most patient collectors. I mean, I need to learn from some people from our group, because some of our groups are like, I'm gonna wait maybe like a month while it dies down on the secondary market or something like that, so I can go and buy it at a reasonable price. We're like, I'll wait 2 hours.
Exactly. And we pay for that dearly.
Yeah, there's some stuff. And speaking of that, it's paying dearly. I think what we're going to do in this episode, we're going to kind of do some show and tell of our recent season 4 stuff we got here. And I think great thing in the transition, what we just talking about, are those glow in the dark Demogorgons from Hall H, all from we just had San Diego Comic-Con just happen, and I knew there was going to be some kind of surprise of like Funko, you're going to get us in our wallets. I know it. It's going to happen. Prepared myself, but then yeah, they did more than I thought when they released basically four items.
4 Demogorgons, yeah, plus the backpack.
Yeah, I have one of them right here, so I can kind of get the conversation started. So this came with the backpack. So the first day of San Diego Comic-Con, they came out with a bundle, Loungefly backpack and a Demogorgon, a glow in the dark. So this is like your standard one that we've seen already out in the market. But of course, it is a 3,000 piece limited edition, right? So of course, collectors, I need it. I gotta have it. And as you and I are full on, we collect every single Funko item out there. So we're completists. So we can't stop now.
Right.
So we got that. And then I also was fortunate, and it was tough. That thing sold out, but this is the backpack that came with it as well. Has a little side pop emblem as
Nice.
and then
Yeah, I was
two.
really pleased to see that you were able to get one at the retail level.
Yeah, I know you and I were up. I was 6 o'clock my time, 7 o'clock. We were clicking, get in there and stuff. I fortunately got one through, and I know like you were at the same time. I don't know how
Yeah,
that works, what they're doing.
kept blowing up every time I went to try to check out. And it took them, it was probably 6 or 7 minutes to sell out, which in itself was kind of surprising. But during that time, I could never make it to checkout.
Yeah. And then I know you've already got them too, but again, we talk about secondary markets. So the first one that they released here was a 1600 piece during Hall H. They did this. So they have this glow in the dark red Demogorgon. We're like, oh, cool. Great. That sounds expensive because we're not there. We're going to have to get it. So we get that one. And then guess what they do the next day?
Yeah. They drop another one on us. They dropped the blue one second, didn't they?
Yeah, the blue one second.
Which I have right here.
Yeah, awesome. I'm still waiting for mine.
That one is 2,100 pieces.
Yep. And then I also got the third one here. Then we call it the albino, the white one.
The albino
the white one. And this one is a little bit 3,100 pieces. So we got that one too. So that's complete set. My blue one is still in transit that I bought on secondary market. So waiting for that. So as of now, I'm somewhat a completist until I get it here. Then I will be a completist again. Awesome. Well, cool. Yeah, that was the big thing that I got during San Diego Comic-Con. What have you been collecting recently, Diego? Anything that you want to showcase right now?
Well, I've been getting a lot of things, but I've really been concentrating in the last month or so on putting together some of the props that were used in the show. I've done several. One of them that I've done is Eddie's bracelet, which after some research, I found that that's actually not a bracelet at all. It's actually vest extenders for a biker's vest. 2 of them snapped together, 1 chain and 1 leather. So that was really cool. I'm happy with that. I also am in the process of putting together Eddie's drug dealer lunchbox.
Nice.
Which I found a matching lunchbox.
So cool.
And believe it or not, I'm searching on eBay for empty cigarette packs and rolling papers, and I found them. So I found an empty Camel pack. I found the zigzag papers, and then I'm using some art and craft moss as the weed. I still have a little bit of work to that. They need more weed, and it needs to be brown instead of bright green. But
yes,
so that's been one of the things that I've been working on. And the other thing was I finally got the pieces I needed to complete Max's Walkman setup. I got the realistic Nova 45 headphones, the Sony WM8 Walkman.
Yeah.
And of course you can't have that set up without having Kate Bush on cassette. So that's that's what I've been really concentrating on. And right now I've started looking for all the parts and pieces I need for Eddie's vest.
Oh yeah, that's gonna be cool. And I love how you do that. You collect beyond just like the collectibles, but stuff like you see on there and recreate the different items and stuff. I know you have already a museum of other items from other seasons as well, from like Star Court and all that stuff.
Yeah.
It's really cool that you do that. So yeah, I just wish I had the room, but I love that you do that. And I mean, you and I talked about you building when Bob had those stack of games and all that stuff, like you went and say, I need to figure out every single game in there and recreate that stack that he's bringing over for Will to hopefully make him feel better.
Yeah, that was a challenge, and I got 99% there. There was one thing that looked like it might be some kind of a card game that nobody has been able to identify. And by nobody, I mean even the people involved in the show. I've talked to Sean Astin. I've talked to the prop master of Stranger Things, and nobody remembers what that was. And it's maddening, but I am so close.
You'll get it. I know you will. You have the determination. You'll find it. There is a way, and you will be complete. I know it will happen.
Yeah.
Well, awesome. Yeah. So a couple other things that I've been seeing online too, of course, is the bobbleheads. So the first one that I know both of us got here is I think it's the Zavi exclusive 11 bobblehead.
Yes.
Jiggling her head there like that. And then the counterpart, which is in most places, it's still on pre-order in most websites, but we found it on Amazon. Actually, you found it on Amazon, and it was actually like like a limited edition of like the first 150. Is that correct?
Right. They had a limited run of 150 of them that they were releasing early, with the rest coming, I believe, in November. And I didn't even know that's what I was ordering. But when I got it, that's what it was. And I think you canceled your pre-order, didn't you, and ordered one from there?
Yes, my streak of not buying from Entertainment Earth continues. Again, I'm not patient enough for them to actually send it to me. I find it somewhere else and I cancel it. Sorry, Entertainment Earth. I try not to do that, but it is what it is. I got one too, but you got one that's even cooler because you got the first edition, right? I
Yes,
believe.
I got number 1 of 150.
Yeah, so I got Vecna, I think like 48 or 43. I don't know. I have to go look at the box, but
It is
still cool.
the detail in those is really fantastic. I love them.
Yeah, great for displaying as well. Another thing I know you and I got to as well is it's a creator, an artist over, I believe, overseas. I'm not sure where, but Dead Alive. They made these little cardstock figures of Eddie Munson. I know I ordered a Vecna version of 2
Yes.
as well, so that's something that we've been collecting too. Pretty cool. Out of resin, we have that. And I'll show 2 more. And if you have anything else you want to show here, I found these too. I thought they're really cool. I actually, again, people that, message me like, have you seen this? Or I see it from other Instagrams. I think these really showed up more on the UK side first, but then I found these on Zabi as well. Are these little mini lights. So I got this
Oh,
Demogorgon mini
yeah.
lights.
I missed out on the Demogorgon one, at least so far.
Yeah, I think you ordered this one, right? The 11. So there's
Yes,
a
I did get
counterpart
the
there.
11 ordered, but the Demogorgon was out of stock.
Yeah, it says collect them all. So right now on the back, it just says 2 of them. So I looked at that as well, see if they're going to come out with others. But as of right, there's little desk lamps, basically, little lights. Awesome. So what else, Diego? What else have you been collecting? Anything else you want to showcase?
Oh, there was one other thing that I picked up. It just kind of something that showed up on eBay that I could not resist. I got a prototype of the Freddy Funko King Steve Pop.
King Steve, yes. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know about that either. That's cool.
Yeah, that was it just popped up, and it was relatively inexpensive. Usually people are way more proud of those protos than they should be, but that guy was reasonable, and so yeah, I had to have him. So he's joining my prototype collection in the cabinet behind
Yeah,
me.
you have quite the extensive collection when it comes to prototypes.
Yeah, I think I
I'm very
have
envious of that.
14 or 15 of them now.
Wow. Yeah, those are hard to come by too. So that's
They
definitely
are,
a
and it's
feat.
easy to get. I mean, a lot of people, especially the ones that live over where Funko is produced, they'll actually go raid the dumpsters and just get duds and sell them as
Wow.
prototypes. So you have to be
Gotcha.
careful of what you're getting there.
Yep. Yep. Buyer beware for sure. You also collect something else. You're showing Eddie's bracelet, but I thought I saw something else that you were collecting that's actually currently on your
Yeah, I
screen.
guess you could say I kind of collected that. Uh, I got a 001 tattoo.
Oh my gosh, Vecna's with us.
um, my friend Shannon and her mom came from England to visit for the week of after the season 4 drop, the part 2 drop, and we were out one day and decided, we've been talking about this for 3 years. Let's go check in on getting a tattoo. And the tattoo artist that was there was actually the one that I had been referred to, and she said, "Yeah, I can do it right now."
Nice.
So she did, and yeah, so it's been about 3 weeks now. Mine's actually finally healed up, so it's looking pretty
Nice.
good. So, but yeah, now I'm Vecna.
Watch out. I
And she's
always knew there
11
was
of
something different about you, Diego.
yeah. Well, I mean, it's always an alias for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Back to even some other collections too. We're big on collecting backpacks. So I just got this in the mail from Box Lunch. I pre-ordered this a couple months ago.
Oh
Another
yeah.
Lunchfly. So this is like the pink one. It has demo bats and little demogorgons look like little plants. You kind of see it in there
I
too as
love the
well.
demo bats. They're just so cool.
I love them too. And it came with the wallet. So if I'm going to get a backpack and it has a matching wallet, yeah, they got me on this one
Oh, so
too.
you got the wallet too. I've gotten the backpack, but not the wallet yet.
Yeah, so I got the wallet because yeah, if I were going to have this later on, like if I was going
Yeah,
to give it to
it
someone,
did.
I like to have the matching set for sure.
Mine did ship, but it hasn't arrived yet.
Oh, nice, nice, nice. Let's see what else here. There's a couple other things. Again, we're talking about this show is going to be all about just show and tell. A couple things came out recently. Stranger Things, a new YA novel, Lucas on the Line. His
Oh
new
yeah,
book came out.
Lucas. I forgot about him.
Yep, he came out as well here. The thing is like we're also collecting. We collect comic books. We collect all the comic books out there too as well. The summer special came out. The two variants here as well.
Mhm.
And the thing is like some people ask me like, so Joe, are you gonna still collect the comic books since they're not canon anymore? Especially because when we saw who was actually six in season 4, it's not the same
Right.
even gender, let alone person, and the storyline is completely different. So what we're finding out is more like fan fiction, all that stuff. Like, but I'm gonna say this: I'm gonna collect it regardless because I'm a big collector of art, especially as well. And these comics, the art is just amazing. Even if the story is not canon, I still love collecting the art part of it.
Yeah, me too. And it's and even not being canon and going off on their own, they're entertaining stories.
Right, right, exactly, exactly. So I mean, I collect all the YA books and all this stuff. But yeah, I think my favorite one so far. Um, I don't know. It gets back maybe the Hopper book. Suspicious Minds is kind of nice to see about the prequel of all this stuff, like all the MK Ultra and all this stuff in behind the scenes and Eleven's dad, which I don't know if that's canon anymore. We just don't know yet, right? The
Right.
Duffers haven't come out and said this is really her dad and he died in Vietnam and all that stuff. But yeah, I digress. I still collect them. I love the art and I'll continue collecting them as well.
Yeah, me too.
Let's see here. I got one thing I want to showcase. Well, we end the day like end the show with showcasing, but another thing that we finally got in, I know that you got it the same week that I did, was back in November 6th, Stranger Things Day of last year. Netflix went ahead and released some pre-orders, and one was done by an artist, and correct me wrong, I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing this right, but I think it's Chogrin, or
Yeah, I think that sounds right.
yeah, so they came out with a limited edition figure, the Ella Gorgon. So I got the Ella Gorgon here as well. I think it is the forget what number I got. I can't remember. Do you remember what number you got?
I think
I
I
lost
got
mine.
45 and
I got 48. I think it was
yeah.
like a little bit after yours. Yeah.
Yeah, the I was really pleased with that figure. The quality is super. The it's got a nice heavy base. Packaging was amazing, except for one annoying thing, which is they put that edition number, the 45 of 150, on the plastic outside bag that was the box was wrapped in.
Yeah, so there's just so much stuff to collect, man. So it's interesting, like where do you stop? Where do you begin? I mean, it gets hazy, as we like to say, real quick, right?
Yeah, that's become the new the new watchword. Things got hazy.
Awesome. Well, we don't have much time left of this. We want to keep these kind of more on the shorter side, but we thought we had to. We're due for this kind of just show and tell a bunch of stuff. I mean, this just barely skimmed the surface. We could sit here probably for another hour or two showing some other stuff from Light Brights, from Sour Patch Kids, from popcorns, from all the stuff, like Garbage Pail Kids. I mean, there's so much merch right now in season 4. So we like to kind of end the episode with one thing we like to share of our collection, something we've been doing, or like a project. I know you already shared your project, but you might have something else in the wing here. I always like to go first because you always one up me because you always have something amazing. So we kind of leave that at the very end. But actually today, I'll back up a little bit. I wanted to get a Vecna bus, something like to display, something cool. But not
Yes.
only that, I wanted to be able to like create. So I'm an artist too. I love to paint things, portraits. I get them signed at cons and everything like that as well. But I'd never done like a figure. And so I'm like, oh, that'd be kind of cool to do a figure. So I found an artist on Etsy that created a Vecna bus. pretty good size, but it was just the, a 3D printed gray plain Jane, something like that. So I got it today. I spent the whole day painting it and everything. And again, you can look at my Instagram to see the before, and this is the after. So just got done with this Vecna.
Oh
Has
yeah, that looks
completely Vecna
fantastic.
with blood
That's amazing.
splatter all over from all his victims, with their eyes popping out as well. Has a nice little clock there on the side of his base
Oh, that's
here.
amazing. You did a
Yeah.
fantastic job with the paint because I saw the before pictures.
Yeah, thank you, man. And again, it's hard to see on the screen here, but if you want to see Cinco things on my Instagram, you can see the before and after photos as well. But yeah, again, another project. I'll find something else I want to do. Oh, another project that I was working on that we appreciate all the views on our other video is the making of my wall unit for the Eddie Munson guitar.
Yes.
I built that with my dad. We put LED lights in there. Diego found an awesome 8x10 photo of Eddie, of course, doing the little devil horns. Put that on there. And I've got a plaque because it's a 221 out of 2000 edition guitar. And then on the side, of course, I painted the Hellfire logo, a little demon on there as well to customize even further. But yeah, thank you again for watching all our videos. Again, I didn't buy the guitar because I want to play it. I bought it because I'm a stranger to these collectors, y'all. So all you guitar players, it's all good. You're good. I have enough other guitars to play. This is wall art. I bought it because it's Stranger Things, not because I'm, trying to start a band with it.
Yeah. Well, I certainly don't have anything that will top your Vecna figure or the guitar to show, but I would like to end it up by asking our watchers a question. And it's this. As most of you that have been around for a while know, this whole channel started with me doing basically a video tour of my entire collection. And I know that a lot of people have been asking for updates. And my question is, would you all like to see tours, kind of as an ongoing thing of our collections? Just showing all the stuff. It would obviously take a long time. We're not going to do a 4-hour video on one collection, but in small doses. I'd just like to know what everybody thinks of that. So if you have an opinion on the matter, put it in the comments and we'll take it into consideration.
Absolutely. Yeah, I would be down to do that as well. Mine's kind of everywhere in one place, but I kind of have spread out too as well. Like I said, we're the ceiling and stuff. Speaking of the walls too, I just added the Butcher Billy episodes posters on Netflix on my front, like by my TV in the living room and stuff too. They're super epic. If you haven't seen those, check them out on Netflix. Get them before they're gone. Yeah, that'd be awesome. I would love to do that. If y'all into it,
I
we'll
think
do
that'll
it.
be something we'll consider strongly in the future. But
Awesome. Well, cool, Diego. Again, that wraps up episode 3 of The Strange Collectors. If you want to hit us up, I'm actually at my Instagram at Cinco Things, or you can go to cincothings.com, see my collection. I've kind of have a website there too. I need to add a lot of stuff. I'm kind of a little behind on adding some stuff there too. But Diego, where can they find you as well?
Well, they can find me here on my YouTube channel, and I have been getting more active on my Instagram, which is the Stranger Things Collector, as always. So yeah, you're always free to hit me up there. And yeah, and then of course our Facebook group, the Stranger Things Inn and Lounge.
Sounds good. Well, Diego, happy collecting, and maybe we'll take a little pause and let our wallets kind of stop steaming from all the money come flying out of it. But of course, there's always something else to collect.
Yeah, there will be something tomorrow.
We need it.
Yes.
All right, everyone. Well, that will wrap it up here. Episode 3, Strange Collectors. You all be well. We'll see you next time.
Take care. Bye-bye.